Breaking news from Rwanda. Police officer against Mukeshimana who stood up for the community. In this community, there was no public bus to help such residents in such a particular area within Kamonyi district to move fast and forward at marketplace, jobs, and students to arrive at school on time. The woman stood out to figure out the solution for such a long-term problem. She thought to bring a public transport car for her own effort, and definitely she made it. People in that community were so happy. After a while, unfortunately, police officer together with the Lula staff, which is Rwanda Utility Legal Authority, came to her and asked 300,000 Rwandan money to be paid every week. And Mukeshimana did refuse them. She thought and take time to think on how could possible for her to pay 300,000 every week. Finally, she made a good step to ask other people and leaves out words it is a corruption. And after that, she made a decision to not give any money to police officer together with the ruler, which is Rwanda Utility Legal Authority. Now here we are to hear from Keshimana Chantal with the residents people in that community on how such a tragic event happened. Rwanda residents called Keshimana Chantal. Her daily job is driver. She owned many cars. She also a member of RFTC. She raised the question due to how she been treated wrongly by someone who works in Rura'S, which is Rwanda Utility Legal Authority particular. He asked 300,000 Rwandan money from Keshimana, and then she wasn't understood why, and she made decision to not give any money to such a people because it is a corruption. This person from a government officer in rural particular, he went back to call police, and police came to take her car off from the road. Yes, such a people called up police officer, and of course police officer responded to rural call. Immediately, police officer reached on Mukeshimana Chantal's community to take her car off from the road. And good fortune, the journalist from Mubavu.com and Mubavu Online TV being alive out there. Amazingly, when the police seized the journalist alive, police officer together with a rural officer ran away from this community. Through Twitter from Lula officer, they responded on that such a problem event the government cares life of people first and the business came a long way later. They need to do a technical control on her car and check legal document, whatever is a full document to allow her to do her business. Laura tweeted that her car missed some legal document, therefore it is why they needed to take her car off from the roads. Here are what the community residents have said. We all need to hear from police officer why they want to take her car off from the road. The police officer need to speak out the problem. If it is a money problem, we will help her to pay all because her car is our car. I would like to sound that her car it is a family car. It helps us to move fast and forward at the marketplace, job place. Not only our students always use her car to reach at the school on time exactly. Why and why police together with the rural staff are mistreating us in this way. It is so sad to us. Other gentleman said, "At this place you were 7 cars, but 6 went off, including those government officers. Here is why, and listen, Mukesh Mana's car is in trouble. They have come a tall man. He asked Mukesh Manaj Santal that I'm going to take off your car from the lords, and yet other 6 cars went off." She asked him, "Where is other 6 cars?" The tall man could respond. Suddenly, the machine known as a breakdown was alive to pick up the Mukesh Manoj car. In that minute was a very terrified period. Mukesh Manoj raised the voice loudly that my life depends on car income from daily activity. Now, if you need my car, first take off my life. She repeatedly saying that first call me before you pick up my boss car. She slept down in front of her car. She climbed and rolled down in front of her car. It was very tear-shedding to see her on the ground crying for help. Story went on, and the gentleman may have heard from that tall man's son to Mukesh Mana that, "Listen, we will take your car at Wawa and auctioning." On that moment, a bunch of people felt to wonder on how she managed to own many cars. Indeed, to say she is well and good in the business. This was a painful period of time in this community. A bunch of people was here watching and crying for Keshimana's life. She somehow gone to wed naked in front of people, and people with loving kindness hearts hurried for us to save and cover her. We did our best to talk to Mukesh Mana, and finally we made it. This is what she said to us. "I'm calling Keshimona Chantal. I had a problem with Rura. My daily job is drive, and sometimes I work as a taxi conductor. Once upon a time, there was no taxi in this community. What happened is that many people reached out to me. They was asking help. If I could bring my bus into this community as a result to their transportation issue. Yes, indeed, I saw it was a big problem to them. I sent my bus to call people to their destination corners. Unfortunately, the reader called does sent his own cars to replace mine from this area. Not only that, another man from Lura also sent his car to replace mine from this area. My driver faced people who want to take him at Wawa. He fighted with them, and good chance he managed to escape from them without an injury to anyone from that battle. Mukesh Mana kept repeating that man from Rura who came to ask if the collection of 300,000 Rwandan money in order to give her order permit to work from this area. And we wondered why, because it is illegal. Then Mukesh Mana refused to give 300,000 Rwandan money to him. Then after a moment, that man said to her that just wait a bit, you will get to know who am I. I thought he was joking, but he wasn't. Mukesh Mana told us it was not the first time to meet people who asked corruption from her. It was a painful routine that keeps her sliding back in her business. She said that every week she used to pay 300,000 Rwandan money to those people. She thought this was too much for her, to an extent where she couldn't manage, and yet our president doesn't know about it. She asked them for receipt payment for such a work permit, but they could give it out to her. This is why she decided to say enough is enough. If those government officers want my car, let them kill me first before they take away my. Take a look, I kneel down and cry for help. Not only I pay the work permit, but they can't respect my rights. Take a look, this is an evidence on how I make sure to follow all legal processes. I'm so sad. Matter of fact, these people have done much wrong for me. He have taken away my another car. It is at the police station nowadays. Story went on, and the gentleman may have heard from that old man Santi Cashman that, listen, we will take your car at Wawa and auctioning. On that moment, a bunch of people felt to wonder on how she managed to own many cars. Indeed, to say she is well and good in the business world. The painful routine that keeps her sliding back in her business. She said that every week she used to pay 300,000 Rwandan money to those people. She thought this was too much for her, to an extent where she couldn't manage, and yet our president doesn't know about it. She asked them for receipt payment for such a work permit, but they could give it out to her. This is why she decided to say enough is enough. If those government officers want my car, let them kill me first before they take away my car from the Lord. Here is perspective view on why they don't want her car in this place. She said it is because that man from Lula want to do a transportation business from this place, therefore he want to fire her off from this area. We asked her about what she can ask the President of the Republic of Rwanda. She said, I would like the President of the Republic of Rwanda to move civilians from rural officer to hire soldiers into Rura'S officer. She thought that soldiers will learn the office properly with discipline excellently.